Hey everyone, I am Lindsay Church. I am the Executive Director and co-founder of Minority Veterans of America. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am so excited that you all have joined us for the very first ever town hall event hosted by our incredible chapter programs team. So I see in the attendee list many folks that I recognize your names, so welcome old friends. And I see a lot of new names that I've never seen before. So I hope many of you will join the MBA family and really get involved in what we do. I hope that tonight is a great opportunity for you to learn about what we do, hear a little bit more from our chapter programs team, and really get a chance to learn what MBA is doing now and what we will be doing in the future. So like I said, thank you so much for joining. A little bit about tonight. So as I mentioned, you get a chance to meet our incredible, infamous chapter programs leadership team, hosted by none other than the incredible Ashley Carruthers. You're also going to be joined with some incredible leaders from some of our chapters that I can't wait for you all to get a chance to learn from and to just know who they are. I know I personally am incredibly grateful. I've had since the beginning of 2021, I was vaccinated and had the opportunity, have already had a chance to meet with 3 of our 4 chapter programs teams this year. And I can tell you, I'm nothing short of blown away. And next month, we'll be joining our final chapter programs team and people to people program out in Seattle next month. So when I say that these leaders are incredible, like I am underselling that. I can only tell you that. So a little bit about tonight. If you are in need of closed captions, I will also type this message in the box. There is a closed caption button that you can use on the bottom part of your screen to be able to hit that closed caption button. And it will play those for you specifically, but you have to enable them yourself. So if you need them, please feel free to use the caption services. The other things about tonight. So we do have chat disabled. This is because Zoom does not allow you to moderate chat. So if you have questions and answers or parts or questions for the Q&A section, please do send that. We would love to hear your questions. We will answer as many of them as we possibly can. So please do send those over, but we do keep chat off as an inclusive feature of what we do to ensure that if we cannot moderate chat, that we do not have it on. So if you have chat to send to us or question and answer, please feel free to use that question and answer button on the bottom. We do want to hear from you and we want to make sure that we get those questions answered tonight if we can. The video for today's meeting for the town hall will be posted on YouTube tomorrow, and all of my ums will be recorded for everybody to look at for all the time. So I can't wait to be able to share that out. You can find that in the Facebook event, and we will also try to email it out to you all. So if we're not able to finish and type all of our event tonight, you'll be able to watch it later. With all of the ground rules, a few things that I'm super excited about because I want to tell you all of the things that I'm excited about. But first and foremost, for anybody who doesn't know this, we are on a 6-city tour of the United States. I know that there are many more than 6 cities, but we are doing a supply drop tour. We have hit 2 cities so far. We are 1/3 of the way through our trip. We have gone through Pittsburgh and we have gone through Atlanta. Our next stop is going to be in Seattle in May. So if you're in the Seattle area and you are in need of food, supplies, hygiene kits, all of those things, please do check out our Facebook page, check out our regular webpage. You can find more information about the supply drop tour and where's places that you can find MVA. I will be in all but probably San Antonio. So if you plan to come out, I can't wait to see you. We have already in 2 cities alone, we have distributed about 6.5 tons of food already. So we are pretty excited about that and look forward to continuing to do that over the next few stops. What else? I'm super excited about the Atlanta team, killing it down there with their amazing food insecurity programs that they have been running for months and months and months. They, throughout the entire pandemic, have been continuing to distribute food to the community on a once monthly basis and really just hit the ground running we got last month or in April to kick off their supply drops. And we'll continue to do those incredible programs, making sure that the Atlanta community has an opportunity to eat, but also that the Atlanta community has a really great opportunity to have some fun. So I get a chance to meet our Atlanta team here in a little bit when I get out of your way. I'm also really excited about the team in Pittsburgh doing a ton of community cleanups, as well as doing their Pittsburgh launch, which was in March. Also, watching their team grow has been one of the coolest things, and seeing our newest chapter really flourish in the last few weeks has really been incredible. Cannot wait to see what Pittsburgh is up to next. I'm also stoked about the Richmond organizing that's been done over the summer, really it being engaged in the fight for Black lives, but also continuing to their efforts on working towards renaming the Richmond VA, which for anybody who doesn't know is named after a Confederate surgeon. So our Richmond team has really taken up that fight and will continue to do so, as well as doing some other really incredible programming that you'll hear more about. And you'll see that team back in action in July when they do their own supply drop. I'm also super stoked about our food pantry that we've launched in Seattle, which you'll hear more from Melissa about that, and the incredible work that they've been doing to ensure that women veterans out in Seattle have the opportunity to continue to have their needs met through the pandemic and beyond. So honestly, that's just a few of the things that MVA is up to, but honestly, this is going to be one of the most incredible years for this organization, and I can't underestimate, like I cannot say in enough words just how proud of everything that this team is accomplishing that I am. So I won't keep you. You do have an incredible leader in Ashley Carruthers who's about to take over and really get a chance to introduce her team. So Ashley, without further ado, I will let you take your meeting.
Thanks so much, Lindsay, and welcome everybody. I'm so excited for you all to be here tonight and actually get a chance to meet your leadership teams in our locations. This is a huge opportunity, and I thought it was very important that you get to see and hear from our leaders from each chapter. That doesn't mean that we're not looking for new chapters to start, and we'll touch a little bit about that right before Q&A, and hopefully you guys have some great questions there. But this is an opportunity for you too to give feedback to the chapters in your location if you are in one of our chapter locations, so that way you can get involved with them. We are looking for leadership positions still in Pittsburgh, in Richmond, and definitely Seattle. Two locations that we're thinking about possibly opening chapters are in Chicago and San Antonio. We're putting feelers out right now on the ground to see if it's something that would be sustained and that we can actually put on. But we also understand that there are other cities across the nation that need support, and we hear that, and I want to hear from you. So if you have questions on how to go about seeking if we can open a chapter in that location, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at any time, because I would love to talk to you. So tonight, as I said, opportunity for you to meet our leadership folks. I'm very excited about this team. They are absolutely amazing in all sense of the word amazing. I don't think there's words that can actually describe them and the work that they actually do day in and day out. I'm so incredibly proud of them. I hope that you will all get to meet them soon as we start to slowly open things back up. As folks are getting vaccinated, we will be able to open up to more face-to-face events, but we will keep in mind that some of our veterans, we want to keep safety in mind. So if we have to record events, we have to do events that we can, stream folks into, we will definitely do that. And we've built some amazing partnerships along the way. We're continuing to grow. We do have an announcement later on, but I do want you to actually talk to or hear from our leaders. So without further ado, I can't say enough about these teams, but I really want to talk about Keyshawn Ballard before I have her take over here and tell you about Atlanta. They have done just an incredible amount of work down there. Per Kimmy, Logic, they are fierce, and they're there to serve. That's what they do. That they love service and to provide the needs of the community. Each location is unique. Our leadership is charged with getting into the community and finding out what is needed in that location. And Keyshawn and Kimmy, I'm very excited that they are here because they're going to actually tell you about Atlanta, what they see going on, and what's been happening the last few months, the amazing success of the supply drop that just happened, but also the future. So Keyshawn, take it over.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me very well? Okay, great. I am Keyshawn Ballard. I am the Atlanta chapter leader. I have the honor and the privilege to have a tremendous amount of people that I work with daily. The incredible staff that we have, none other than Kimmy. I call her my fearless leader. We've been running since we met. She is a community advocate. She is a habitual volunteer. She is also our community liaison. We also have Logic, who's actually at work. She is our events coordinator. She is in the Greek world, and she is a beast mode when it comes to the community. Our communications coordinator is Katina Driver. She is nonprofit up and down from here back to Mississippi. Those particular individuals make me proud, and the work that they do, not just for MVA, but as individuals in general. So as Ashley stated, we just did the second stop of the supply drop. Second. I'm a even number type of girl. So they don't call us Hot Atlanta for nothing. So we were able to go out, and the staff came out to feed. We gave over 50 the day of. And then the next day, Kimmy and I and some other friends, Ronnie, who's a member of MVA as well, we hit the ground running. And my big brother Kareem, we hit the ground running, going through neighborhoods, dropping food off all over the city of Atlanta. We are now called Three Women and a Truck. So we were able to go about Atlanta and serve the community. We are passionate about what we do. We love what we do, and we implore others to serve the community as much as possible. It's not just one to go here and feed somebody a sandwich, but provide them ways that they can get this. So we were able to, at the supply drop, provide food, dry goods, canned goods, things so they can last a few weeks and not just one day. We even had other corporate partners to provide their information so that for employment, for other resources, so that the veteran community can know who we are, as well as our friends, fellow colleagues, and other community partners. So the gist of it, what we're doing right now is we're focusing on food insecurities in Atlanta. So if you're from Atlanta and you've been around Atlanta, you know we have a huge homelessness population. With that being said, we decided to hit the ground running even more and make sure that any chance we do something, we provide some form of food and nourishment to those who may not have it, or as we call urban occupants in the area. So this is not only just veterans, but this is the community in general. So every time you see us, we're gonna always have some food with us. So that's just the gist of what we're doing right now. We have an upcoming event this weekend, actually. We have our Feed the Hungry that we partner with every first Saturday with Hope United, which includes Tough Project and Restoring One's Hope Atlanta. There, we provide food for over 250 people, as well as toiletries. So we definitely hit the ground running. Like, we literally walk through the streets of Atlanta and providing food and toiletries to not only veterans, but civilians as well. After May, then we have some more events. We're partnering with other organizations throughout the month. And then down the line, we have something for Juneteenth. We have a few other surprises down the line. I won't tell them all right now, but what's the best thing to do is follow our Facebook page, the Minority Veterans of America Atlanta, so that you can keep up with us, so that you can also know who we are, so we will know who you are, so we can provide you information on where we will be next. So this is J. Keyshawn Ballard, spreading sunshine. So I'm gonna pass it on to my fellow leader, Kimmy.
Kim, you're still muted.
Thank you, Keyshawn. Even though I'd rather be in the background, she always trying to push people forward. That's what I love about her. But that being said, our goal is to make sure that we assist as many people as possible. If you are in need of assistance, you need someone who's in need. Somebody always knows someone. That's what we're here for, to lend a helping hand. We're not here to take over. We're just here to help pick up if you fall. So not much more to be said than what Keyshawn has already said. We're here for the community, and we're here for the food insecurities and the homeless. So back to you, Ashley.
Thank you, Kimmy and Keyshawn. I absolutely love what they have going on, and they do have some incredible events cooking up for this summer. I won't give it away, but I do wish Logic was here tonight, because Logic just has this brilliant mind when it comes to events and really hitting the ground running and knowing who to contact within the community to bring multiple people together just to make that event much more successful. So I'm very excited to see what they have going on this summer. As Keyshawn said, look at their Facebook page, keep up with them. They always have something going on and are always looking for help. So please keep that in mind. But next, I want to talk about our newest chapter, Pittsburgh. I am so incredibly thankful for our chapter lead, Nathan. He has really hit the ground running. And when I say hit the ground running, we literally just opened the chapter, and a couple of weeks later, we had the first supply drop. And it was all on Nathan. He didn't have much help, but help from afar. And then the team came in to provide all hands on deck to sort beans and all these dry goods to make sure that we were feeding the community. So I'm just really excited. We also brought Crystal on board not too long ago this week, and she was out with the 2 cleanups that Nathan organized over the weekend for Earth Day. And we're hoping to get another lead on board next week. But if you are interested, if you are in the Pittsburgh area, even if you're on the outskirts of Pittsburgh but can help from afar and you're interested in a leadership position, please let us know. Without further ado, Nathan.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nathan Porter. I am one of the Pittsburgh chapter leads. I'm in the Air Force. I've been in for 11 years. I'm getting out soon to go pursue some bigger and better things. As Ashley said, we're a new chapter. We kind of just hit the ground running and kicked off with our supply drop. So we're still branching out and reaching out and finding new people. We just brought on Crystal Bartley as a chapter lead. She's an Army vet. She works for Veterans Leadership Program in their career development team. So they basically provide employment services through their homeless veterans reintegration program. And we just kind of stumbled upon her by happen chance, and she's a ray of sunshine, and like she's excited to see where we're gonna go. We also are bringing on another chapter lead, kind of unofficially yet, but I still want to talk about her because she's awesome. Her name's Ashley Sieler. She's also an Army vet. Prior to her current position, she spent over like 11 years in the early childhood education field, working with families that are struggling with addiction. She now works for Grounded Pittsburgh, which is a nonprofit that turns underutilized and vacant lots into green spaces and gardens. So they're doing a lot of awesome work. She works in their youth engagement program, but Grounded is like such an awesome organization. We're looking to do like a lot more things with them. They have a stewardship program where they have volunteers from the community that are also in need. So those volunteers come out and volunteer their time, but in exchange for that, they get gift cards to pay utilities and like that kind of stuff. So they're really doing awesome stuff because they really get that community involvement. Like they involve the people that really care about the neighborhoods that we're helping out. So I'm just checking my notes because I'll forget what I'm talking about here. So what have we been up to? As I said before, we kicked off the Pittsburgh chapter with our supply drop. We gave out over 5,000 pounds of food, and we reached about 100 families. And it was a blast. It was a lot. Just starting out a new chapter and getting on the ground and really meeting a lot of new people, new connections. We were right off the bat able to get a partnership with the Steelers, which was awesome. So we're excited to see what we can do with them in the future. We have a few things up our sleeves coming down the line. So look out for that stuff. I'll actually be down there on Saturday at Heinz Field with the Steelers for their Convoy of Hope. They're giving out shoes, books, groceries, hot meals, and stuff to the community. So we'll be down there helping them with that. Other things, we're also hoping to get our food pantry up and running, like the Seattle chapter. So veterans will be able to go online and fill out a form, and we'll be able to fill them a box of food. As Ashley said, for Earth Day, we were able to organize 2 community cleanups. The first one was in Carrick, which is in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. We were able to clean up about a mile of Brownsville Road. And that was awesome. The whole community came out and we got it done. And then the next day, we were back at it again in Homewood in the East End. We were able to clean up a lot of vacant lots where people were just throwing their trash. And our community partners came out and helped. We worked with Grounded, which I talked about earlier with Ashley, Pittsburgh Musical Theater, and Casa San Jose, which I'm super excited about. Casa San Jose is a nonprofit in Pittsburgh. They basically identify and provide access to services to the Latinx community and immigrant communities. They also serve as a service coordination site for immigrants and refugees in and out of Allegheny County. They protect immigrants from deportation, and they basically bridge the gap between the Latinx immigrants and service providers. So they basically do everything MVA does and more, but for the Latinx community, and they're super interested in getting involved with us. They're an awesome org, and some of the things we have planned with them, we want to start a community garden in Pittsburgh, and they're very interested in getting involved with that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Pittsburgh. Like I said, we're still branching out. If you're interested in helping out with the Pittsburgh team, we need the help and we want the help, and we're excited to get more people on board.
Thanks so much, Nathan. We're really looking forward to everything that our Pittsburgh team is going to do and put on for the veteran community in Pittsburgh. And these relationships that Nathan and Crystal have built just from the jump have really kind of started us on an just this huge mountain of excitement, because with these partnerships, we're really able to see where the needs are in the community, and they're able to get us in touch with folks and vice versa. So in return, we can help them and provide information to them that they might need that's pertinent for their members or the community at large. So next I want to bring in Melissa from Seattle. Melissa is absolutely amazing, and I really want her to kind of hammer home on her projects out there, but also we're really looking to jumpstart our chapter out there and revitalize it. So we definitely need some leadership, but I really want you to hear about the exciting things that Melissa has going on. So without further ado, Melissa.
Thank you so much, Ashley. And yes, I will second that. We are definitely in need of Seattle chapter leadership. If you are in the Seattle area or have veterans, friends or counterparts that might be interested in volunteering, please have them contact the Seattle chapter at Community Impact at Minority Vets. You can also message us on social media. Our Instagram handle is MVA Seattle, and of course on our website. So a couple of things we have going on in the Seattle area. Our People to People program, which engages members through community-based programming. So the P2P program takes a holistic approach in meeting the veteran where they are, and enhancing the greater sense of belonging and reducing barriers to accessing services. And so for those that are looking to re-enter the workforce or re-enter higher education, there are workshops and services in place here to support those efforts. We are third on the list for the supply drop. So I've got to throw a little shady nudge to Keyshawn. Although she likes even numbers, third time's a charm. So Seattle will definitely be bringing in some competition here with this. Here in Seattle, we partner with the Seattle Seahawks and the Task Force 12, which are 12 grassroots organizations that support veterans that are also made up of organizations that are veteran run, that again, just support the community. They are typically huge supporters of MVA and will be present at our supply drop, which is May 22nd. 2021. It will be hosted at Lumen Field, which is where the Seattle Seahawks play. So a lot of stuff going on here in Seattle. We have partnered with a local boxing company here, boxing ring, Cappy's Boxing Gym, and they offer boxing affinity classes for veterans every Friday evening from 6:45 to 7:30. And again, this is as things begin to reopen safely. We are looking to increase our social engagement efforts. Just so, veterans can feel like themselves again. They can get back into monitoring their health. They can get back into networking with veterans. Of course, that is always extremely important to have veterans and comrades that you can connect with so that the quarantine doesn't necessarily catch up with you and you keep yourself very mentally healthy. Let's see what else is going on. Seattle chapter launched a women veterans food pantry in February of this year. So again, servicing veterans that live in King County that are experiencing food insecurity and transportation insecurity. We run our pantry twice a month, and women veterans are eligible to apply. And for those that exceed the amount of access to the food pantry, which is twice per calendar year, they're still eligible to utilize the supply drops that we have in the communities so that they can continue to receive services and support. But again, I will echo that chapter leadership is extremely important. It is something that I'm looking forward to growing here in the Seattle area. As the flagship location, we are very fortunate to have lots of supportive organizations and individuals here, but we can always grow and do better. So with that, I will turn it back to Ashley.
Thank you so much, Melissa. We're super excited about all the programming efforts that you have going on in Seattle. And again, can't hammer it home enough that we are in search of leadership for Seattle. Ideally, we want at least up to 5 folks that can bring various things to the table, work with each other, and work off of each other's strengths and weaknesses. It's about growing. It's about learning. And just coming into your own. So if you are interested, folks that are out in Seattle, please, please, please have them reach out to us. We'd love to have a conversation with them and get them started so we can get more programming going out in Seattle where there's a huge need. Next, we're going to talk Richmond. I'm going to have Lindsay come back on to talk about Richmond. Unfortunately, our 2 chapter leads in Richmond are not with us this evening, but we still want you to hear about what is happening on the ground in Richmond. Lindsay.
Hi again. So excited to be back and really excited to hear more about Melissa and what she's doing out there in Seattle. My heart is in Seattle, but my home is in Richmond. So super excited to represent the Richmond team. For a little backstory on the Richmond chapter, we started the Richmond chapter when I moved here in August of 2019. And our Richmond team has since grown to include 2 other leaders that I'm really excited to welcome to the team that have really taken and will continue to take our chapter to the next level. So first and foremost is our chapter lead, Steph Merlot, who's been with our team since just after I got here and was an amazing member of my community when I was looking for a place to belong when I got here. So Steph Merlot was not able to join us tonight, but she has been the heart and soul of our organization here in Richmond. So last summer, over the last year, Steph has been responsible for running virtual Pride block party programs where we went out in the community and socially distanced and safely executed Pride cleanups around our city because we were not able to host any Pride events in person. In addition, she also had the opportunity last year to work with a coalition of organizers in Richmond to put on the Stonewall Rising LGBTQ March for Black Lives in June as an anniversary march of the LGBTQ community, showing up in solidarity for our Black siblings in arms, our siblings in our communities, and has continued to fight for military sexual trauma reform, really working to be a part of the organizing coalition around the I Am Vanessa Guillen bill and really changing the visibility and awareness around military sexual trauma and the continued rise of service members who are being assaulted, harassed, and murdered, and has really been instrumental in that fight, both here in Richmond, in Virginia, and across the country. So Steph has been amazing to join this team and has recently been joined with a new member of our team whose name is Tracy. Very excited to have Tracy join our team and really excited to see what Richmond is up to next. As I did mention earlier, we do have our supply drop here in Richmond. That's going to be our 4th stop on the tour, which is happening on July 24th. It's actually the 5th stop, 5th stop on our tour. We have Seattle in May, San Antonio in June. If you're in San Antonio, would love to see you. July is going to be Richmond, and August is going to be Chicago. As I also mentioned, our Richmond team has been involved in the organizing campaign around trying to rename the Richmond VA, which is currently named after Hunter Holmes McGuire, who was involved in was a Confederate surgeon and also really prominent leader in the eugenics movement. And so our team is really working hard with our policy team to try to get that renamed and ensure that all of our veterans feel supported and welcome and included at our VA facility here in Richmond. In addition, one of the things that we have been talking about extensively here in Richmond is to continue to fight for joy and continuing to have some fun programs that can include families and bring folks in from different identities to really remind folks and to remember why we as organizers fight so hard. I think it's super easy in this fight for social justice and continued reform to forget that joy is actually what we're fighting for. So something our team just never lose sight of is that we're fighting for the opportunity to experience the joy that we want our community to experience. So something that we will not be losing sight of this year is the opportunity to continue to instill that joy and really show up for our community in a profound way and remind folks what we actually are fighting for here. So you'll see things like cleanup projects, outdoor programs, biking, hiking, happening here in Richmond. And again, that focus on allowing folks to bring families out and really build programs that work for them and support them. So again, much like the rest of the teams, Richmond is a team of 2, but we are always looking for more leaders out here. And there's the opportunities to get involved are endless. So thanks for listening.
Thanks so much, Lindsay. So that actually pivoted us quite nicely because with our chapters, we really do want to bring fun back into it. The work we do, the work that a lot of our members do with volunteering for these events with our chapter leads across the nation, it can be strenuous and we want to be mindful of that. So we always kind of want to surround things with what I like to call the 3 pillars. So we have activism, of course, service, of course, and then fun. And one thing that I saw over the course of that pandemic was how there was this need for folks to get out, this need for people to feel that their voice was being heard in a powerful way, especially with the fight for social justice. And all of a sudden I saw all these really amazing bike clubs being formed. And one of them was Streets Calling. And we have one right here in DC. And the chapter lead and the founding member for the DC chapter is Quentin Beasley. And I had the opportunity to really talk with Quentin and tell him about our amazing work that we are doing at MVA, but not just that, but about our veterans and veterans needs. And I thought, how amazing would it be to see a bunch of veterans working through things while exercising and having a sense of community on the streets and being able to show up for social justice on bicycles with these other bike clubs, having fun on a Saturday afternoon or going for a nice leisure ride with them during the week. And so I am formally announcing now our MVA Bike Club is starting, and we are actually going to kick it off here in DC. We're working with Streets Calling. I hope Quentin's on the line. Quentin, thank you so much for your help. We do realize that we have a lot of veterans that might not have touched a bicycle in a while. We have a lot of veterans that are bike enthusiasts, and then we have a lot of veterans that might need some special assistance with equipment. And so we are really looking hard at partnerships, not just here, not just at our main chapter locations, but across the nation. So that way folks from across NVA can get out on bikes and actually do something together that's fun and really get involved with the community. Black Girls Do Bike in Atlanta has this huge, amazing chapter. If you look them up on social media, their photographs are just insanely empowering. And then you have these men's bikes clubs that go out as well. And it's just amazing to see so many people out on the street together. And it's so powerful. And another reason why we're partnering with these folks is because they are very confident riders. They have street marshals. So they are able to help us secure our members and make sure that we are safe out there on the road, because of course, safety is our number one main concern with any event that we do. And this is just a huge opportunity for us. And we are going to look at trying to get some equipment for certain veterans that may require special equipment. We're looking at hosting clinics in various cities, so that way folks can actually get fitted for a bike properly, learn what kind of bike they might actually want to get out on the road on. I am not a street bike kind of person. I'm more a leisure. I'm a turtle. I'm a tortoise in the back. So we would always have groups for comfortability. So the bike enthusiasts, we're going to take you on longer rides. Those of us that are like me in the tortoise mode, and need oxygen, we're going to have a nice short leisure ride. And then we're also, one of our huge partnerships, of course, is hopefully many of you know, is REI. And we're looking at different trips that we can do with them that also encompass mountain biking and also camping. And I know Atlanta has been looking into that. I know Pittsburgh has been looking into that. But again, we would like this to grow across the nation and really just have a huge opportunity to do some healing while we're out on the pavement. So with that, I do know we have some questions already in the Q&A. So we are going to open it up for Q&A. If you click on the Q&A option, you'll be able to type in any questions that you have. We do have one question that we have is around existing chapters. Yes, we do want to expand. So during the beginning of the call, we covered a little bit. We're currently looking at San Antonio as a possibility and also Chicago as a possibility. However, we do understand that there's a large need across the nation in various cities. And I would love to chat with you if you want to message me. And I will teach you how we can kind of look at the demographics and see if we can actually get folks that want to be in leadership positions and also members. And so we can actually take a serious hard look at that city. Hope that answered your question. We do have somebody that is interested in helping with the Seattle chapter. I love it. I will write to you and give you my email address, and I'd love to sit down and talk with you so we can get on board together and see what we can do in Seattle with you.
Also, pro tip, if you're interested in meeting with MVA, you can go to bit.ly.com and capital MVA volunteer, and you can find our volunteer opportunities. So I don't know if we have the opportunity to put this out in the chat, but we're going to. Actually, I do, and I will send it to all of you. So if you're interested, you can check out all of our volunteer opportunities at this link that I'm about to send you all.
So John, hopefully you just got my email. I just answered you directly. Hopefully that went through. But yes, as Lindsay said, we always advertise the opportunities that we have. We have various opportunities within the organization as a whole. So it's not just with the chapters, and we won't hold you to that position. If there's an opportunity for you to grow elsewhere and you want to get into policy work or anything like that, we would definitely help you grow into that realm. Which also brings me up to policy at local level. We do want to start focusing on that. We are getting a lot of great feedback during these events from folks that are hurting. We're starting to hear, this law that they're trying to do is going to really damage me. Sometimes we don't hear about it right away. We try to stay on top of everything, but that doesn't always happen, right? Because the last few years it's been very busy. But if you hear of something, if you want to be involved in any way, shape, or form, please let us know. I think we have another question in the chat.
One of the questions, and I'm sorry, I'm going to or I'm gonna take over for a second because it is the question is from Mary. Hi, Mary. Good to see you or hear from you. What was the path to getting NFL teams involved? Was it difficult? So as we talked about early on, we were founded out of Seattle, or at least maybe we didn't mention that, but we were founded out of Seattle. Melissa and her team have done an absolutely amazing job of working directly with our amazing partner, Nino Gray out of Seattle with the Seattle Seahawks. We were lucky to have found and worked with Nino, who believed in us as a tiny nonprofit out of Seattle, and took a really vested interest in ensuring that minority veterans are represented. So this was actually a partnership that we've been working on for a few years, and have only recently expanded with our supply drop tour. So with our relationships with the Seahawks and those amazing partners that we had, we were actually able to expand our relationship to the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons, which we were going to host for the Atlanta Falcons, but due to mass vaccination sites being hosted at NFL stadiums, thank you NFL stadiums for allowing this to happen, we were not able to host at the, I think it's Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and we'll have to postpone our first event with the Falcons and working with them until after the vaccination efforts are done with. So the answer is it was not difficult in that we had an amazing partner. Though I do recognize that we were very lucky that Nino was such an amazing partner, and that the Seahawks have really been a solid team to work with, and been not just sponsors or not just anybody that we work with, but true partners in this effort. All of our supply drops were actually founded out of Seattle in a partnership with the Seattle Seahawks. And so this is actually, Melissa said third time's a charm, but this is actually Seattle's third supply drop ever. So they were the originator of the supply drops that we turned into a tour to extend to the rest of the country. But that was founded out of partnership with the Seahawks. So we were very fortunate, and that the Seahawks have continued to open those doors and expand the ability for us to reach other markets and other folks that like we would not have an opportunity to work with. So that was a very long answer, but it was difficult but not difficult in the same time. Kim's over there laughing. I hear you.
My bad.
And then one last thing about the chapter expansion, and thank you, Ashley, for answering that question. Chapter programs have always been the thing that people look to MVA for the most. I know when we started out of Seattle. It was a group of us all came together, and we really wanted to find a space to exist in. So we started out of a physical location and a group of folks. I say it was me, myself, so 5 of us in my living room is how we started. Our whole organization was started out of my living room with 4 other people and myself. And so we know that folks are looking for this in-person connection. And so our chapter programs are the thing that folks want the most. But chapters are really hard too, because it takes a long time and a lot of continued effort on everybody's part to make sure that that chapter isn't just started and then never doesn't actually have an opportunity to grow to its full extent. So for me, what I want to be working with you on is finding folks and having a dedicated leadership team. So when you are ready to start an MVA chapter, you will know it because you have a community grown where you know 10 folks that want to be a part of this, 5 folks who want to lead with you, and you're ready to get started. And so as you start to really look around, who is in your area, who wants to start this with you, when you're when you're ready, you're ready. And I would encourage you to stay in contact if that's something you're interested in. Do get involved with our team. We have a lot of digital opportunities and a lot of opportunity to get involved with our team and find a place that you can really belong. And even if it's only in a virtual capacity to start with, and you just want to volunteer your time, doing any number of the random things that we are literally always doing something crazy. So if you just want to get involved and start, be a part of a panel or host a community coffee hour, like literally anything that you want to do, come work with Team MBA. Like we are here to find as many ways to bring you all into a community as possible, because we know that community saves lives. We know that our community is the way that we're going to make it through this pandemic. It's the way that we're going to recover. It's the way that we're going to move forward with our lives once this pandemic has stopped being our immediate reality, but becomes a part of what we're navigating in the post-pandemic reality. And so it's imperative that if you're interested, like get involved, help grow this organization and be a part of the change that you want to be. I know that sounds so cheesy, but it's true. Like we have an opportunity to really change the narrative and the way that people see veterans, and that's going to take all of us. So that's my spiel.
As I always tell my team, there's never anything such as a bad idea. Bring it to the table, as Lindsay said, virtual coffee hour, a meetup somewhere, anything. It's a fantastic idea. Bring it to the table. We do have another question in the chat from Bethany. Thanks so much for joining, Bethany. We had the amazing opportunity to meet Bethany when we were in Pittsburgh. Bethany really helped us out a lot with our supply drop. And then Bethany also teamed up with Nathan to help clean up over the weekend for Earth Day. And Bethany's question is, if someone has volunteered prior, is not a veteran, but loves and admires the work that we're doing, are there opportunities for civilians to join up and help in the future? Absolutely. The answer is always yes. A lot of people always want to help the veteran community, especially the minority veteran community, because we get stomped on quite a bit. And we always want to welcome any help that we can get. So future events, work that you're doing, please definitely reach out. We would love to have you involved going forward. We did have another question before about the same thing. People want to help out, help with the events, help with the supply drops, help virtually in any way, shape, or form that they can support and provide support. And we absolutely 100% welcome that. Do we have any other questions out there? One thing that I will mention with the bike club that Streets Calling does is they focus hard on beginner rides and also the more elaborate experience rides, but they always focus on a business, a minority-owned business in the community to focus and help them out. And of course, as we all know, this pandemic has hit our businesses pretty hard. So if you know of locations, that's also another great event idea for a meetup to go and support that local business. Another question. For some reason, I can't see the question.
The question is, I'm not really into the whole veteran identity thing. Are y'all super military focused, or is this just going to be a chill group I can join up in? This is one of my favorite questions of all time. Thank you, anonymous attendee who just sent it.
I can answer that.
But please do, please.
So I understand at one point in time, I got away from the veteran identity, and I didn't want anyone to see me as a veteran before they saw me as a human being or a female or a Black female. So when I volunteered, I always volunteered under this pseudonym at, hey, I'm a person volunteering. I'm not a veteran volunteering. So majority of the time when you come in Atlanta, it's not about if you're a veteran, non-veteran, civilian, whatever you want to call yourself. It doesn't matter. You're volunteering because you are a human being who wants to volunteer with the organization that's volunteering right now. And majority of the time it's us having fun, helping the community, serving the community, and us being us. So being a veteran has nothing to do with volunteering. If you're coming out as yourself and whatever you claim or what you want us to address you as. So you don't have to be veteran to volunteer with minority veterans. You just got to be somebody who has the spirit, who has ethos, the spirit of the community inside that you want to put out to everyone else. So no, you do not have to be a veteran or be veteran, that oorah, devil dog, yut. You ain't got to do none of that. Just be yourself, be who you are, your authentic self, and we're going to like you for who you are. That's it.
What Kimmy said.
100% echo everything Kimmy said, and I hope that answered your question and made you more comfortable. We always want everybody to feel comfortable. We have a lot of fun in this organization. Like we mentioned, it's hard work. It's long hours. It's heavy lifting, or a lot of picking things up 45 times and putting them back down, like we do with the supply drops. But we have so much fun doing it. The energy from all of our staff, all of our volunteers is just incredible and infectious. But as Kimmy said, just show up, be you. You're always going to be accepted for who you are. Do we have any other questions out there?
Well, as a panelist, I want to ask a question to my fellow panelists and friends.
Absolutely, please do.
Well, as a leader in MVA, what is your most, I won't say prized possession, but what is your most memorable moment of being a leader while serving or being in MVA in general? So what do you value the most of being in MVA?
Can I go first? It's all of you, honestly. Like like I said, when we started this, we were 5 people in my living room as an idea. And I've always said and maintained that 5 people can change the world. I 100% believe that every day, just because of like, you all are the example of that. Like 5 people in a living room started this idea, and this idea caught fire because the community knew that we deserve better and we deserve more. And like, you all are like come to fruition of all of that. And like, every time I see a new face that I'd have never met, I mean, Keyshawn in Atlanta, like you all out there, I stepped foot in Atlanta for the first time last month, and yet you all have been running a chapter for almost as long as we've been an organization. And that is like just one of the like coolest things about this whole work is just the people that I come into contact and the people that I get to work with, just because you all are badass leaders, and that's just the reality of what we do. So that's my favorite part.
Oh,
I would say it's hard to pick just one thing that is like my favorite. I would say getting on the ground, like with these supply drops and these events and stuff, and like meeting actual people in the community and helping them is one thing. But another thing that I wanted to focus on is like, kind of with the question before, a lot of minority veterans don't identify as veterans because for so long they have been ostracized by veteran spaces and military spaces. So like for me, when I met Crystal and having conversations with her, the person we just brought on as a Pittsburgh chapter lead, you know, when she got out of the military, she didn't identify as a veteran. She got out on, you know, bad terms, and just didn't really want to be associated with that. So we know that that's our goal, and we know that that's our realm, helping people in those communities. But actually like seeing that in person and like speaking with Crystal and knowing that she didn't identify as a veteran, but now that she's found MVA and like that kind of stuff, seeing her kind of like come into that space and be like, I'm ready to like step up and help the community. And I don't care if I'm a veteran or not. But actually like we say it, but like when we actually see it and like we bring someone on board that's like as great as Crystal, seeing her kind of like turn that chapter. And, you know, she said that she was like praying for something to come along, and like it did. And I think that we're an organization that we're not like other VSOs. Like we're a group of weirdos, and we're like proud of it. And you can identify however you want to identify. You are who you are. You come to the table with yourself, and like that's, I don't know, just seeing that connection is huge. I don't know.
That is such a good question, Keyshawn. I think I've said it before, especially in our all calls. And I want to echo what Nathan just said, just being able to show up yourself. Good, bad, indifferent, flaws, a lot of the leadership, a lot of the volunteers at MVA are veterans. And so we all come with our own set of circumstances, our intersectional identities, our own traumas, things that we're, trying to work through and grow as people and individuals. And this is such a safe space. So I would say that that is one of the most memorable things, and really that keeps me going. We do a lot of work behind the scenes. It's a lot of fun. It is also, it can be tiring, it can be challenging at sometimes, but there's a super supportive team that's always here. I think I said before that in regards to like equity and inclusion, equity is being invited to the dance, but inclusion is being asked to dance. And so for me, that's how I kind of look at MVA. It is, I can show up on my good days, my bad days, and I am still looked at as capable, as a leader that has been trusted to serve veterans, to represent MVA as an organization. And that's just a really beautiful feeling when you don't have to hide who you are, what you are, and and how you show up. So that's really important for me, and I appreciate that.
Love the question, Keyshawn. And I'll be honest, when I was first approached to come over to Minority Vets by Andy and Lindsay, I was at a little bit of a tough point in life with helping out another veteran organization. And it was, you kind of feel run down. There's a lack of support. And when I talked to Lindsay and Andy, the first conversation we had was about Keyshawn, Melissa, and Kimmy. And I'll never forget it because they were telling me about all the amazing things that they were doing and how they were able to do it within this organization and draw people in, the relationships that they've built in those communities in Seattle and Atlanta. And I was blown away and immediately, of course, wanted to be, all in and come over to the MVA family. And I can tell you, I felt unbelievably welcome from the get-go. They accept my weirdness, my quirkiness, my dad jokes, my love for all things nerdy. And I greatly appreciate that. And in a lot of ways, I'm a firm believer of things happen at the right time. And in a lot of ways, MVA helped me out of a tough spot mentally. And so I just thank all of these amazing folks that you've met tonight, but not just the folks that are working behind the scenes, but also the volunteers that we have with MVA that we've met over the course of the last few weeks with these supply drops. It's just meant a tremendous amount to me, and I'm so grateful for this organization and the folks within our leadership team. So thank you all.
What was the question again?
What's your favorite thing about being here? Or what's your favorite thing
Yes.
about MVA?
Okay, because I got self-diagnosed not PTSD, but ADHD, and I don't remember questions that often. My favorite part of MVA, I wish y'all could see my face. My favorite part about MVA, I would say, I get the same thing as Ashley. I get to show myself. I get to be as quirky and as weird as I am in real life. And people accept me for who I am, regardless of what's going on. I know for the last couple of events we've done together, even though it was a lot of hard work, a lot of lifting, a lot of walking, because I know we got our steps in each time we did it, we were laughing the whole time. We were smiling the whole time. We were cracking jokes. We were joning each other. Everything was good and lighthearted. Everything didn't seem like hard work until we finished at the end, because we were actually enjoying each other's company. So that's probably my best memories of working with my fellow MVA participants, is the lightheartedness and the laughter that we have throughout the event, because you don't know how hard you work until you sit down. And we don't sit down. We're going full force the whole time. And as soon as you get home and get your feet up, that's when you start feeling how hard you worked that day, because you don't realize it while you're doing it, because you're having fun. And I think that's the main thing. As long as you're having fun and you're giving people memories, they're going to keep coming back. Because I saw somebody ask the question, how to keep a chapter going, how to keep it vibrant. That's how you do it. You make sure you give them coins. You make sure you give them memories that, you know what? I remember about 2 weeks ago, I did this with such and such, and she had me laughing the whole time. I need that laughter in my life. I'm going back. That's how quick it happens.
Mm-hmm. Kimmy is spot on. Mary, great question. How do you keep the chapter going? That's probably one of my favorite questions whenever I talk chapters with folks. And the answer is not always a simple answer, because you will have folks that move away, you'll have folks that come into the community, you'll have things that come up in their personal life where they can't always be present at those events, present to volunteer, present even virtually to help out digitally. So you have to ride the wave when it does come and go. But Kimmy made a great point. Make it memorable. And the events we do a lot of service. Again, we want to do fun events too, to encompass everybody's capabilities, right? We want to be inclusive and respectful for everybody. We understand that not all veterans might be hurting, and they just really need a sense of community. They want to go out and have fun, do fun events with other folks that are like-minded, and just be themselves. And that's the space we want to create, is a safe environment. As long as you create a safe environment, you're going to get people coming back all the time. Make sure, and I do want to talk to you about Philly. I think there's a great opportunity there. Yes, the veteran population is a little bit scattered in that area. However, there is ways to bring people together. It is a lot of work, but it's fun work. It's challenging, but I love it. And so I can definitely chat with you more. Maybe next week we can connect, Mary. I would love to, and see what your thoughts are for Philly, but that goes for anybody out there. It is a lot of work, but it's fun work. And as long as you keep those events going, you give veterans kind of like a battle rhythm. And so that's one thing I forgot to mention, is we are going to start having monthly meetings, whether they're virtual or in person, just so you know and can kind of check in and gauge what's coming up. You can kind of get a look out, maybe a couple months in advance for events that you want to put on your calendar. Go to, volunteer for, help out. Maybe you see something that Atlanta is doing for Juneteenth, and it sparks something in your memory bank, and you're like, you guys should reach out to this organization that's doing something and make those connections. Whatever it may be, we want to have that battle rhythm kind of set up for you, and we want to do at least one event a month to keep the interest there. Whether it is a food drive, maybe it's going to a movie one night. I do see a lot of places in the big cities that are bringing back the drive-in movie theaters that have really made a comeback due to the pandemic. And I'm really excited to actually see those making a comeback, because I think that's a great opportunity for folks to kind of pile into a van and eat popcorn together. So I'd love to connect with you on that, and anybody else out there that's interested.
I just had more on Mary's question, which was, I just went away. What is the key to keeping your local chapter vibrant? You all have me toying about starting a chapter here in Philadelphia, but the veteran population here is very scattered. One thing I would say is, like, MVA is very much about empowering our members and our leaders. So that's one way. Like, if you are empowering your people that are doing the work, they're going to feel good about it, and they're going to want to stay. And that's like one thing I feel very strongly here with MVA is, like, I feel empowered, and they put their trust in us to, like, lead the communities that we're a part of, because it's about you too. I mean, it's about helping the community, but it's also about you, building your professional resume, building your experience, your activism, your volunteering, whatever it is, whether it's volunteering in the community or, like, writing something for Congress. You're helping the community, but you're getting something back from that too. And when people get that back, they feel tied that chapter, and it really empowers them. And then I think also just like doing the work, I mean, we're doing a lot of great things and we have a lot of great programs. And when people see the work that we're doing, they're going to want to be involved with that because people are watching and people have been like waiting for an organization like this to step in. So I think the combination of those two things are really important with keeping a chapter vibrant. And also with the Philly stuff, I am connected to like the veteran community of Philly. So if you ever want to chat about that, I am here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, everybody, for your questions. These were great questions, and I hope that this was able to give everybody a little bit of a glimpse into what we're doing and really feel a connection with our chapter leadership. And we will be doing this again. I'd like to do this at least a couple times a year just so you can catch up and see what's happening across all the chapters nationwide. So hopefully I'll be hearing from all of you soon that are interested in helping in a chapter near you, maybe starting a chapter or just volunteering virtually with MVA. Either way, we'd love to have you, and please spread the word about the work that we're doing. And if you ever have questions, please don't ever hesitate to reach out to us. We're always here to chat, and we're just so grateful that everybody could join tonight. Thank you to all my chapter leaders. Thank you for taking the time tonight to community. Thank you for everything that you all do. Love you all so much. So with that being said, I know people are probably going to run off to see the president speak. So thank you all so much for this amazing evening.
Great job, team.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you,
for having
everyone.
us. Sincerely appreciate you.
High five.
Bye.